Alright, in this video we're going to talk about the simple subject of how to harmonize and align your actions and lifestyle with cosmic cycles. Sounds really like it could be very profound and huge, or something you could start a secret cult and charge people a fuck ton of money for the secret information, but maybe it's actually just really easy and obvious too, but we forgot it because we live in kind of an artificial zoo that we call society. So just want to show you my notes for this video. There it is. Those are my notes for this is my outline for the whole video. It says it's chicken scratch. Yeah, it says harmonize with cosmic cycles, bed, scribble, eating. So for some people are curious, well, do you do outlines? How do you do your videos? That's how I do my videos. So, getting to the point, I'm going to share with you three things. The first thing is going to bed and waking up in a more natural sort of way that makes sense with basically the rest of the planet. So the first way you can do that is basically to try to get to bed before 11 p.m. And this is primarily because if we look at the cycles of yin and yang, following the Chinese traditional way of understanding the universe based on Taoism or Han philosophy, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you know, there's day and there's night. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. Things open and contract. So this is happening every day. It's happening all the time. So basically what happens is 11 p.m., the liver, which is a very young, expansive organ, starts to kick back in. And then basically from 11 to 3, we have the wood element, which can be a very expansive, moving forward kind of organ. So as people talk about second wind, people talk about their mind getting activated at these hours. But really what we could do is basically go to bed at sometime before then, and then allow that energy to just recycle and come back into our, not come back into our body, but be directed towards regeneration, health, sleep, and the health of our liver. Because the health of the liver spirit, which is the Hun, has a lot to do with the dreaming and a lot to do with the quality of our sleep. And really having good sleep is really insanely important, physically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever. So that's why it's good. Another reason why it's good is that basically people, kind of the traditional way of understanding is that really the least amount of sleep you should need is 6 hours, because it takes about 2 hours to get really into a deep sleep, and then you have about 2 hours of really deep sleep. Then you have about 2 hours to kind of work your way back out of that deep sleep, because we're talking about the spirit of the liver, which is the Hun, and it wants to go out and be free. That sounds weird, but another way you can understand it is when you go to sleep and you know you sleep really well, and you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, huh? You have that moment where you're like, wait, where am I? Who am I? What is this? I was just in that other place doing all that weird shit. Now I'm back here, huh? But then on the other side, you wake up in the morning and the first thing you think is, oh God, I got all this shit to do. I gotta get this, I gotta do that. Or you wake up in the morning and the alarm clock's, oh, I gotta get out of bed. That would be a sign of that process being kind of distorted. So that's one piece, is going to bed before 11 p.m. for those specific reasons. And just try it, experiment with it if you can. You go to bed at 9:30, go to bed at 10, whatever, and I can almost guarantee that your sleep, your health, and a lot of things will really stabilize. Because sometimes what happens is if we don't go to sleep, that yang rises, so then our adrenals kick in, and that taps our kidney reserves, and then a lot of shit happens. Okay, first thing, and then waking up, at a more natural time, earlier in the morning, so the sun comes up sometime after that time frame. Getting out of bed makes sense. Not really that crazy, but most of us don't do it because we don't have real night and day because we have electricity, so it's daytime whenever we want. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is also allowing our meals to follow that cycle as well. So there's a whole thing about, oh, breakfast is good, breakfast is bad, I'm going to skip breakfast, I'm going to fast all day, I'm going to da-da-da, all these things. But really, energetically, metabolically, all these things, it makes sense to eat our biggest meals for breakfast and lunch. And that will really stabilize and lay a solid foundation for the rest of the day, so that our day follows this natural arc of yin and yang, meaning we reach a peak in the day, and then as it gets later, we start to naturally wind down, and as it gets later, we just naturally close down and go to sleep. But a lot of us don't do that, so we skip and don't really eat those meals, and then have a heavy dinner, and then we go to bed with all this food trying to be processed, but our metabolism and our digestive assimilation is at its freaking lowest. So that can, over time, create a lot of stagnation and malnutrition and nutrient deficiency because we're not absorbing, whatever. Simple, easy, obvious, but again, I'll only do it. So just gently suggest and recommend doing those two things. And then dinner would just be, a bit lighter. And, but obviously do what you got to do with your lifestyle and adapting, whatever. And it's not something you have to like, oh my God, I have to do this. Don't make it another, another neurotic way to beat yourself up. Just something to play around with and see what happens. Okay, so we have those first two things. The third thing, which was not in my notes, but I'm making it up, is minimize and or eliminate things that you don't like. And things that you're not interested in. And be a bit of a obsessive, crazy person. I don't mean that literally. I mean that in the sense that that's probably how people will perceive you if you dedicate your life and your energy and yourself to a thing that you really like and you really enjoy. And everyone else, oh, you're so, so extreme. You're crazy. You're eccentric. Can't you just be moderate? Can't you just be normal? It's like. But anyways, aside that, let's do that. Because believe it or not, maybe the cosmos wants us to follow what we enjoy, because we enjoy it, makes us feel good, and then we share that and make other people feel good, and then other people feel good and make other people feel good, and then what do you know? People are happier and are dedicating themselves to a skill or discipline of some kind and refining that and basically practicing some degree of self-cultivation. As opposed to just being a consumer, waking up, going to work, going to buy this. I don't know. We have the choice. But obviously we're all starting in different places, and it's always a work in progress, and it's always something moving forward. There's no real ultimate destination ever, and we will never be perfect. We'll never get a perfect lifestyle or ideal anything, because that's not real. It's something someone made up. To be human is to be a little bit fucked up and to be a little bit imbalanced and to do shit. I mean, that's pretty much obvious, but people like to believe, oh no. There's that one person, and he was perfect. He had everything together, and if we just follow what he said, then maybe we can be perfect too. It's not real. It never has been, it never will be. But if it was, it's probably why they're not here anymore, because they were perfect and they got the fuck out, went somewhere else because they didn't want to deal with all the crazy ass humans on the planet. So that's why they left books and they just peaced out. Anyways, that's a different thing. But anyways, that's it for the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. More importantly, hopefully you will apply and integrate some of these principles and ideas, because they're very simple and very easy. But if a person like you were inclined to reflect and say, well, why? Why is that anything? Why does that make sense or not? And then, well, how does that relate to actually like what I see in the world and what I experience in the world, and start to operate from there? But there's going to be probably a percentage of people, if they even made it this far in the video, who are going to be like, that's all bullshit. There's no science. that proves any of that's valid. Because sometimes we can get so smart that we become really stupid in that we are not even actually participating in our own experience. Meaning, here's our consciousness and our real experience, and we're just like, wee, just like grazing the periphery of reality, but never actually like touching it. Anyways, hopefully you enjoy this video and the amazing cinematic quality that was put in, and obviously the dirty towel that's right there, and some goji berries right there, and some salt and water, and you can see some of my private reserve herb formulas back there, and some tea stuff. It's really weird, I can't do that anymore. But anyways, thanks for watching, and like the video, post a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you soon.